All right, so it's been a minute since I've done an unedited Lulu, but here I am. It's probably because it's the end of the year. Y'all don't need to see my spray bottle. Let's just put this away. All right, so let's talk. Um, for the people who've never seen an unedited Lulu, let me explain to you how this works. This is absolutely what's in my head right now. I don't edit. Matter of fact, as soon as I'm finished filming this, I'll just upload it and make it public and whatever. I don't care. It's just some thoughts in my head. And so let's talk. So, with me doing all these collections and pulling it all out and really looking at it, at the things that I have, it's given me pause. Not because I feel like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed, but it's like, wow, you have a lot. And um, going forward, I want to be a little more intentional about my spending. Not to say I'm not going to spend, but I want to be a little more intentional in reference to how I do the spending. And I'm saying that because I can look at a lot of the things that I have, and it's not anything that I was really thinking about getting, but all of a sudden I saw it and I bought it and I snatched it. So now, and if you see all this is because I need to put everything back. But anyway, so as I'm going forward, I was thinking about, I mean, you know how it is. It's the end of the year. You start thinking, you start getting introspective and start looking back at your year and what have you done and what could you have done differently. And I'm not going to say that I should have not spent as much or bought as much because I do enjoy it and I do sharing the things that I find and be like, yeah, this is so exciting. I do enjoy it, but I want to be a tad more intentional with it this year. I want to, when it comes, especially when it comes down to fragrance, because it's not like makeup where you got to buy it because you can't do it any other way because it's not like you can sample it and then say, yes, I want it. With fragrances, I can sample quite a bit of it. And I have loads of samples that I have bought, I have been gifted, swapped with friends, fragrance friends. And so I want to actually sit down and start going through those things and being a little more creative with my content. I had this mindset when I first really got into fragrances on my channel because let me say, I was just thinking about it. I used to buy and sell perfumes on my own back in the early 80s, late 80s, early 90s. So I have been into fragrance forever. Yes, I got out of it for a while with life, but being back into it, it was just like, yes, I remember loving fragrance. But anyway, looking at it now, I need to be a little more creative and I need to stop acting like it's not worthy me talking about something if I don't own the full bottle. That's the thing I have, inside of me, like, oh, it's not a full bottle. It's not, I don't even, that's not part of my collection. Well, it doesn't have to be part of my collection for me to talk about it, right? It's about me trying it out, seeing if it's good. Do I really want it? Is it worth me purchasing? So those are the things that I'm going to be more intentional about this year, coming up 2022. Um, and then I'm also looking at my finances and, making a plan to pay off things and, upgrade my house, do some decorating around here. Every month I want to do something in my house, to change the look of it and make it my home cuz I'm going to be here for a while. I want to just do a little more, even if it's around my home, because let's be honest, I don't know how much traveling I'm going to be doing anytime soon with everything that's happening again with Omarion and the corona and all these things, um so since I'm here, I need to make it as comfortable and as inviting to me as possible, right? And then I have grandkids. I have my grandbabies, Bakari and soon to be Brooklyn, and I want to, give them time and things from their Gigi. So I have to like balance all this out. I also, I'm in school, so I'm working on how to balance everything so that I don't feel so overwhelmed and stressed out. and and that's part of what I'm trying to make sure I maintain and do. So by doing that, I think I'll be able to keep my content going on, keep this, enjoy my channels, and don't feel stressed out about it, because life is too life ain't about stress to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to say life is too short or anything, because I don't want my life to be short. I want it to continue on and extend. But I also want it to be peaceful and as stress free as possible, or the least amount of stress I can give myself. So I'm going to release a few things and release how I do things. And by releasing it, I'm going to I gotta be honest, I gotta stop watching all these YouTube videos. And I'm gonna say this to all of you all too. I'm gonna say, limit your YouTube usage, especially for us people who watch people like perfume or beauty content, because it gives us this feeling like, oh my God, there's something that I need when you might not need it, or you can hold off on it. We don't need it right now. And that's what I'm teaching myself, is that I don't need it right now. Or I can, if it's not there when I can do it, then it's okay. I'll be all right. And that is, and I'm about to be 55, and it's an ebb and flow, because there's times when I've lived like that and I really care, but then you get ramped up and you start getting things and these packages come in and it feels like Christmas all the time, and I'm having to flow out of that for a little bit. Not totally, don't get me wrong, because listen, I'm already planning on what I'm purchasing, because I got a little extra coins. But I still have, but before I even thought about that, I put in all my payments. So all my money will flow out, and then I can see what I have that I can like play with. And I don't know. And I want this in 2022, when it comes to the purchases and everything. I really want to be more intentional. I really want to not just be buying things just to get that rush, because there's a rush when them boxes are on the way, and really think sometimes. Let me tell you something. I know it's not always gonna happen. And let me tell you this, is for the people who know, I would never say I'm going to go on a no buy, because a no buy triggers me to buy everything in sight. But I will be a little more intentional, and I think that's what I'm going to call it. Not a low buy, but an intentional buying. So that's what we're going to call it. If you would like to join me on the intentional buying of 2022, because let's just be honest, we're going to buy things, but let's be a little more intentional about it. Let's not, just lose our mind sometimes. Let's be intentional about the way we move in reference to that, and put in other things besides those things that we've gotten kind of caught up in, because it's so easy to stay on that page. And it's nothing against it. Like I've been watching plant people, and I've seen people with 200, 300, 400 plants in their house. Do I want to be that person? No. So I even pulled back on the plants. You'll see in the spring and summer, how I'm being more intentional even about my plants. Whereas some weren't doing well. Let me tell you something. I'm a terrible plant person in the beginning when I bring them back in. I've gotten me a new rhythm, and I have now figured out the plants that I like and that I want to keep growing, as opposed to just buying plants just because. So I'm even being intentional about the plants that I buy. I want to be intentional about the things that I bring into my space. I'm never going to be like Marie Kondo, oh my God, get rid of things. Absolutely not. I buy things because I want them, and they do add value to my space. These perfumes add value to me. They one of the things I love is to smell good every day. So if I have all of this to try, and on top of it, share it with you all and let you know about it, and maybe you'll find something that you enjoy too, then that is fun to me. But I also want to decorate my front porch. I want to finish decorating my front porch, do my back porch, buy some furniture here and there, things like that. And so I don't want to get so caught up in buying perfume, buying makeup, that I forget about the other things that will also bring joy and comfort and peace and tranquility in my space. So that is where I'll be doing this here. I might share some of it. Who knows? You know how it is. I try to, but I'm terrible at the videotaping of myself sometimes, like cooking and all that stuff. So I'm gonna try to do better on that in 2022. We'll see what happens. All right. So another unedited Lulu. Give me your thoughts on what are some of the thoughts about what you want to do in 2022. Where do you see some change? Because guess what, we should always be changing just a little bit, tweaking ourselves, just a little tweak to ourselves. Not to say that we got to do this huge overall, but we should be willing to look at ourselves and see something that we need to tweak a little bit. So what is your tweak in 2022? All right, talk to you later. Unedited Lulu out.